Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions, and what I thought we could do today, I thought we could use up our little bits that we had left from last week's mass making session in coupling them with some envelopes to make a oh, what would I call them? I don't really know what I would call them, to be honest. They're a made up thing. So yes, let's just demonstrate what we're going to do. So if you wanted to actually join in the mass make, what you would want to use is some envelopes. As I say, I am using these, what I think is DL size envelopes. These are, you know, very commonly available over here in the UK. I don't think it would matter, to be honest, what size envelopes that you actually used for this. I personally think you'd probably want a longish one rather than a square envelope. But, you know, that's not hard and fast. You know, you might get away with a square one. I'm not sure. But this is, you know, this is the size envelope that I'm going to go with, mainly because these were the envelopes that I had, obviously, in my stash. I've then pulled along my offcuts from last week's mass making, which are sort of similar width, really, to the envelope pieces. So hopefully that's going to pan out. If it doesn't, obviously I can turn them around to use them like this, and you'll see, you know, once we get making, what I mean by that. And then you will want some scissors, you'll want some glue, you might want some circles if you're going to do the kind of policy, you know, closure. I like to attach my circles with brads, so if you've got some brads, you might want to use brads. And then some string or twine or something like that to, you know, to do the policy envelope thing. You may want to have a circle to do like a thumb hole punch. Again, personal choice, not essential, but yeah, you may like to have that. Aside from that, you might want like a glue spreader and a bone folder. And I think that's probably it, to be honest, for the actual, you know, basic making of the pockets. So what I'm going to do is just kind of run you through one or two first. I have to say I've not actually made one of these yet. I was kind of thinking this morning, what shall I make for our mass making? And this was what is in my head. So let's fingers crossed that it goes well and not like last week's, which was a bit of a disaster, on the fly disaster. Should have learnt my lesson, really. Right, so I've opened my envelope up. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, just glue the flaps closed. Or, you know, the flap closed. Like that. Okay. And just then squish that down. Okay. And then what I want to do is cut my envelope down. Again, depending on your envelope size is going to depend on whether or not you need to cut your envelopes down. I'm going to cut mine down because it's quite tall. I mean, if this were on an A4 page, for example, let me just show you. Oops. It would be taller than the page. So depending on your size of envelope will depend on whether or not you need to cut it down. So I'm going to cut mine down sort of approximately here-ish. Again, not measuring, just judging by eye, you know, approximately where I'd like it. So like that. And to be honest, actually, now that I just folded that up, you could probably just do these folded up with a pocket. So perhaps we'll try one of those in a minute as well. But what I've got now is my envelope with, of course, the opening. So I'm going to turn it round so that this section is on the back. And then I'm going to just pull in some of our decorative paper that we've got left over from last week. Now this particular piece, as you can see, is not you know, not the full width of the envelope. Again, you know, perhaps that doesn't really matter, but if that does kind of bother you, then I'm going to just take mine sideways on, and then I'm going to trim down two pieces, because you're going to want two ends to this, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to kind of double fold mine over to get my sizing, and then I'm just going to cut that down like that. Okay, that's one, and then two. Okie dokie. Right. Again, teeny scrap now, but yep, as being the hoarder that I am, I will probably keep that. So maybe make some clusters or something from that later. Right, okay, so now what you've got are two sort of pieces like this, and this is how we're going to make our sort of envelope closure, I guess. So all I'm going to do is fold this down like that to make my, you know, envelope flap. And then what I want to do is ensure that this is going to tuck in to the top. So this is where I find it's too wide and I have to trim it down further, which, you know, that's fine. If you have to cut it down further, that's fine. Okay. Oh, by a miracle, that actually just slotted in there just right. But yeah, that was more luck than judgment, obviously. Right, let me just get my bone folder in. Okay, so I'm just going to take my bone folder and just squish that down. And then what I'm going to do is take my other flap, this one, and bring it in to meet this. Now, again, up to you really, whether you want to have them joining, you know, meeting in the middle, or whether you want to have a gap. I think either is, you know, quite nice. I'm not sure really whether I've got a preference. So I might do some meeting and some not meeting, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to do this one meeting. So again, just squish that over like that. So then all I'm going to do is glue this down on the back of my envelope like that. Okay, turn my envelope over, squish that down like that. Okay. Okay, right. And then this one, obviously, that we've tucked in here, again, just want to actually glue that in so it's, you know, fixed in there. So we just slide that back in with some glue. Like this. Oh dear. Yeah, mine's quite a tight fit, to be honest. And so the glue is making it pretty tricky to get it to slide in nicely. Right, there we go. Let me wipe my desk. Okay, and squish that down like that. So then what you've got are obviously your two flaps. And then what you've got here is obviously your pocket. Now for me, I think definitely, you know, I would benefit from having a hole here, you know, thumb hole, because I'm likely to tear this trying to get things in and out this pocket. So I'm just going to do a thumb hole there, oops, like that. Okay, and then your pieces here, what we would do then, let me just check that they're not rubbing against each other. No, they're not. We're going to get our circles. And I just like to keep some circles punched out for things like this, but actually I might need to punch some more for this video. And then I'm going to just ink them up. I'm still using my walnut stain Distress Oxide. Yeah, I just fancied a change from the vintage photo. And yeah, I've been using this for a few weeks now. Quite enjoying using it. Okay. And then we're just going to have those like that. Before I attach those, I'm going to just open this out and just ink around the envelope itself. Whoops. Like that. Again, I mean, I'm just inking sort of around the edge really, rather than all the way around. Okay. Like that. And again, you know, obviously if your envelope feels a bit flimsy here, you can always kind of reinforce it, glue some paper over it or something like that. You know, you don't have to leave it sort of a bit, you know, a bit vulnerable. So that's that piece. Let me just grab my brad. Okay, so I've brought some brads in, and then all I'm going to do is just literally put my circles, you know, again, judging by eye, you could probably do this, I don't know, with something to measure the center, but you know, just judging by eye. And then just put your brad through like that. And then the other one, oh gosh, I'm really mucking my nails up. I've only just second painted them. So they were a little bit wet before starting the video. The amount of times that I do this, honestly. So yeah, they look really the worse for wear by, well, 10 minutes into the video, to be honest. I was going to say by the end, but no, 10 minutes in. Okay. Again, just squish that down. And then I'm just going to take my string. So this is just a sort of regular, you know, what I would call a regular ball of string. And I'm just going to tie that round here. Like that one. And then I just like to tie it on the other way as well. So it's kind of a nice secure knot like that. And then cut that down. And then you can obviously, whoops, wind that round like that. Oops. Sorry, making a horrible job of doing this. Like that. And then cut your string down. And then, obviously, this would glue on to a page. You know, I would glue it on probably 3 sides to have it as a side loading pocket. So they're quite simple, aren't they? I mean, they're a little bit fiddly, but yeah, they are quite simple. Now, obviously this is curling up because I've pulled it quite tight with the string, and it's of course not glued onto the page. Once this was glued onto the page, you know, you're going to have a lot more control over how tight you pull your strings. So let's make another one or two, talking you through it, and then obviously I'll be quiet with regards to what we're doing. So going to take another envelope, and let's try what I was talking about in taking this up like a pocket. So this just kind of occurred to me really while we did the first one, that I thought, oh, actually, you could probably have a pocket in there as well. So just folding it up there like that. Going to just cut across the top like that. And then I'm just going to glue my pocket down like that. Whoops. Okay. So that's that glued down. Whoa. Okay. And then we're going to make our little flaps. So let's pull this one in. Again, this is not really the width of the page. That's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to take that and again, just fold it over roughly where I think to use as my guide, and then just again pull this back here like that. I mean, this is just my rubbish method of yeah, kind of instead of measuring really. So yeah, please ignore my method of measuring. Okay, like that, and then just down here like that. Okay, now this is quite thick, so I mean I could use it here on the pocket, so our pocket's coordinated. I don't know whether it's kind of too thick. Well, I don't think it is actually. Oh, let's do that. It might be that this is going to be too much of that pattern. So yeah, I might change my mind once we kind of see how it's going to look. But at the moment, I'm thinking, oh, that might be quite nice to have it coordinated with the flaps. Okay. So we would have that there over that pocket. And then these we would have tucked in like that. So we've got one here. Just fold that over like that. Same fold of that down. And then the other one. Oops, which way round? Oh, that way. Yep, okay. So again, just then flip that over to get roughly where that needs to be glued. and then just squish that down like that. Okay, so again, let's just glue this down. I'm just going to glue this down to the back of the envelope first, like that. Okay, so like that. And I mean, I'm not claiming these to be my idea or something new or anything like that. I personally hadn't seen them done, but I've seen tons of things very, very similar. So, you know, I'm not in any way trying to claim credit for these or anything like that. I'm just kind of saying these came to me, but, you know, they've probably been done before, to be honest. Okay. And then this one, obviously, we're going to have tucked in. I'm just going to check it's the right size. And we just then glue this down. Okay. Okay, pop that in there like that. Oh dear. Just again, mop up that glue that's seeping out. Whoop. Okay, and then just again, press that down like that. And I mean, you could have these sideways on. I was kind of thinking that you'd have it, you know, this way up. But of course, you know, you don't have to. You could always have these sideways. They would look very cool. Again, you'd have to just factor in making sure they're not bigger than the page, if you see what I mean. So if you're cutting your envelope down, you'd have to make sure that this is going to fit widthways on your page. But so long as you do that, you know, then it definitely would work. So, yep, let's just pop this one onto the pocket. Like that. Okay. Like that. Okay. Right. Let's just squish this down. Oh dear. Glue seeping out everywhere on this. Literally everywhere. Okay. Right, let me just get my glue spreader and spread that out. Using those glue spreaders, I mean, it really just helps you kind of get the glue right to the edge of the piece, I think. So yeah, I mean, it's not a glue spreader, obviously, it's a card, but used in this instance as a glue spreader. Right, so that is my piece. And then again, just take my circles. Like that. 1, 2. And again, just literally, you know, judge by eye where the center is. Like that. Okay. Pop that brad through. Yeah, I mean, I think these would be lovely sideways on, actually. You know, again, I mean, you might want to just check what paper you're using to make sure that the paper you're using as your decorative paper is going to look good sideways on. Because, I mean, obviously some papers would lend themselves better to being, you know, sideways on. But, yeah, so long as you kind of take all those types of things into account, then I think these would be really nice, to be honest. Okay, whoops. Like that with our brads. And, I mean, I just love these policy closure fastenings. I think they're just really, really, really cool. You know, they feel vintage to me. I mean, I know you do still get them sometimes on things, but, you know, they just feel really vintage to me. They have a sort of vintage vibe going on, don't they? So, yeah. Okay, let's just, oh my goodness, tie this up. Oh, super fiddly. I needn't worry about my nails. I've already trashed my nail varnish now. So yeah, this is a bit like after the horse has bolted, as that saying goes. Right, let's just, oh my goodness, come. Okay, so again, I'm just going to kind of hold this flat this time. and try not to wind the string around so tight. But like I say, I mean, once this was glued down onto the page, that just completely overcomes that problem anyway. So that's that one. They're really cute, aren't they? So yeah, I hope that you like them. So I don't think I probably need to talk you through particularly doing another one. I will obviously, show you what I'm doing, but not necessarily kind of talking through. So yeah, let's just kind of relax now and, do some mass making, I think. So I'm going to do, I think, a variety of some with a folded pocket and some without. And I might try and do some sideways on as well, actually. So I might, yeah, let's do a sideways on one. Because I think that would be really fun to do. So again, just going to cut that end down. So I might just cut that down slightly more just in case it's a bit wide for the page still. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Just making a horrible mess with my scissors today. Yep. So I hope that everybody's having a good week so far. Obviously it's early on in the week, isn't it? I know I say this every week, but I film these on a Monday generally and, ready to go up on a Tuesday. So yeah, filming this obviously on the Monday. And I'll probably, if I get time, try and film my one for next week, if you see what I mean, this week. Because next week, or this coming weekend, is a bank holiday again. We're very lucky at this time of year. We get lots of bank holidays. Sadly, this weekend, the one coming, is going to be the last one. So yeah, then it all stops. And then we don't actually have another bank holiday until August, which, that's a long way off, isn't it? So yeah, but I mean, it's quite nice at this time of year because we get Easter, where we have Good Friday and Easter Monday. And then we have what they call May Day and Whitsun as the other bank holidays. So yeah, it's really, really nice because lots of long weekends. But as I say, that's the last one. Okay. Yeah, horrible weather here. The weather does not appear to be cheering up at all. We certainly have no glimpses of summer. We had that spell a couple of weeks ago where it was like really lovely and I thought, oh my goodness, summer's on its way already. No, summer is not on its way, or certainly hasn't been since then. It's decided to, oh no, look what I did. Did those sows, they weren't sideways on at all. I should have done them that way around. Do you know, I'm going to just put this to one side and let's try and do use a different paper, I think. As I was trying to do a sideways on one. Yeah, let's use this paper instead, I think. Yeah, okay. So just work out where roughly I want this. Actually, this piece, I'm going to just try folding this in like this. Oh, perhaps I'm being completely silly, actually. Completely wasteful of the paper, isn't it? But yeah, I was doing it so that I kept the flowers there. Oh well. Yeah. So summer definitely not on its way for us, it would seem. Not so far anyway. I mean, last year we were so blessed. We had such a gorgeous summer and it was so long. It just lasted for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And, I mean, of course, we're not likely to have that every year, are we? But I don't know. This year, this seems exceptionally late as a start, really. Right, let's just chop this down here in the middle. Or, approximately the middle. Again, who's judging? Nobody's looking, are they, to make sure it's the middle? Yeah, it feels like it's very late now. It's possibly not late at all, but it, possibly just feels like it's late. I don't know, but it's yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I wish that it would get a move on and actually cheer up. The thing is, I mean, because our lockdown has kind of begun to lift now. I know I've said that kind of in a previous couple of videos, but well, I mean, it kind of has lifted, to be honest. I mean, I think people are still very much, progressing with caution. But all the time that the weather's still quite rubbish, it's not really kind of encouraging people to go outside, to be honest. I mean, last week it was so peculiar. We've got this new gym. I can't remember whether I've talked about this before, so I do apologise if I'm repeating myself. We've got this new gym here where I live, and yeah, it's the first gym of its kind. We've been very poorly served when it comes to kind of like gyms and things like that here. We've had like the local authority gym, you know, that's got like a pool and stuff. They're known as a leisure centre over here. I don't know what they'd be called kind of elsewhere, but anyway, so that obviously had a gym and they run like exercise classes and things like that. Well, it was very expensive and not obviously the nicest facilities, you know, being a sort of just, you know, local authority kind of run place. But yeah, worse than the facilities was, sorry, I'm making such a mess of this, I think because I had that flap kind of quite big, so it was a lot to tuck in. Yeah, not the best facilities, but even worse than that, very, very expensive. So I think it was like £49 a month or something like that, which is quite a lot of money, isn't it? You know, for a gym membership, because, you know, let's be truthful, you don't really know whether you're going to actually use it that much. And, you know, if you wanted to join like as a couple or, you know, as a family or anything like that, then, you know, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Anyway, we have these gyms over here. Again, I don't know whether this is a kind of, you know, worldwide thing or, you know, what, I don't really know. But like these chains that are just a gym, they don't have a swimming pool or anything like that. I mean, to be honest, you know, I never would go swimming anyway, so that doesn't really kind of worry me. I think this one is called, I don't know whether it's called Pure Gym or Gym Group or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, they're everywhere in the country and they have the most incredibly cheap rates. They're a 24-hour gym and they operate from as cheaply as it's £16.99 a month, and that's for unlimited access to the gym, which, I mean, that's just amazingly, you know, good value, isn't it? So yeah, last week, I've gone all around the houses to tell you this story. So last week I joined the gym and I thought, right, I'm going to go to the gym. Obviously I did feel quite nervous because, you know, I haven't really stepped foot in a gym for, you know, a long time. But, you know, I mean, like a long time, even pre-lockdown, because I always do my workout at home. So, you know, I don't normally exercise in public. Anyway, I thought, no, I'm going to go. My oldest son had joined, you know, he loves kind of having a workout. And I thought, oh, well, I'm going to push myself outside my comfort zone and going to join the gym. So, yeah, I joined the gym and I've been there twice, which actually that's not too bad, is it? That was twice last week. I mean, I don't go there for very long or anything like that. I don't do anything very exciting when I'm there. But anyway, I did go. But on the first day that I went, and I can't remember whether that was Monday or Tuesday, one of the days anyway, it was so odd. The weather looked so lovely when I left. And I said to my son, because I went around sort of tea time-ish, and I said, you know, oh, when I get back, you know, we'll sit in the garden. Well, I'm not kidding. Within like 10 minutes of being at the gym, the heavens had opened. It was chucking it down with rain. It was actually hailstoning, would you believe? So much for, you know, we'll sit out in the garden. I mean, it couldn't have been more horrible. And then it just stayed like that, you know, pretty much for the evening. So, yeah, just really peculiar weather, to be honest. You know, like changing in the matter of minutes, really. It's very, very strange. Okay. Anyway, when I got to the gym, it was very, very busy because, of course, it's, you know, it's only just opened. And so they're doing lots of introductory offers and things like that at the moment, which, you know, fair enough. But yeah, it was very busy. So I was a bit like, oh my goodness, you know. But actually it was okay. There was a big wide range of age groups there. So I didn't have to feel kind of ridiculous or anything like that. There were obviously tons of young people, you know, very young people. They look like they should be my children. But I mean, equally, there were, you know, a lot of people kind of my age and older than me and things like that. So, and of course, you know, all range of fitness abilities and things. So, yeah, I didn't actually feel kind of too self-conscious or anything like that when I got there. And yeah, it was okay. Right. Yeah, I quite like them with the folded in flap, to be honest. I think that's quite nice. Or, you know, the folded in pocket, perhaps I should say. I think that's quite a nifty use of that. Oops. Yeah, I don't know whether they run classes at that gym. I mean, it says like in the membership that it's free classes. Obviously I didn't see any classes running. I'm not quite sure where the classes would run, to be honest, because the gym kind of looked like it took up the entire space. But I mean, again, I didn't like walk around and have a look or anything because, you know, obviously you don't, do you? You know, I was feeling kind of conspicuous anyway. So yeah, I didn't kind of have a walk around. I just did my couple of bits that I wanted to do and then left there. But anyway, it was good to go there. So yeah. Right, let's just have this one here. Okay. So we'll tuck this one in like that. Okay, and then this one will go here. I mean, I have done all of these joining. Like I say, you wouldn't really have to do them joining, to be honest. You could have some spaces in between. You know, I don't think there's any reason they need to actually meet in the middle. You know, again, just mix it up and do some and some. You know, that's kind of the best thing to do, isn't it? To do some one way and some another way. But I mean, actually, I think, again, they're another one of those quite sophisticated looking pockets, you know, quite a sort of, yeah, sophisticated looking piece, but actually they're super easy to make. And, you know, of course, I like anything that's super easy to make. So, okay. Yeah, I did also go to a yoga class last week, which was wonderful to, you know, go to a yoga class. It was where I used to go to yoga, obviously pre-lockdown. And it was a class that I really, really, really love, you know, pre-lockdown, really loved. So, yeah, I went to that as well, which was really, really nice last week to actually go to a class. Because I think I'd mentioned, sorry, I'm having struggles getting this in here. Oh, my gosh, having another one of those really clumsy days. I don't know what this is about. Oh my goodness, come on. What is going on here? Yeah, I think I'd mentioned in a previous video that I had done a yoga class outside a couple of weeks back. I'd done 2, I think. They were quite nice, and they were run obviously by the people who runs the, you know, the studio where the classes are held that I would normally go to. And that was really nice to go, you know, just to do a class, to be honest, just to see people and, you know, kind of feel a bit like a bit of normality there was really nice. But I mean, having said that, it was kind of nicer to be in the studio, really, because it was strangely distracting outside. You know, you've got lots of people walking their dogs and things like that because it was just on the local kind of field. And again, I mean, I'm really lucky because actually that field is almost just over the road to my house. So, I mean, literally it was like a couple of minutes walk. And the gym that's opened, I mean, I did drive there. You could walk there. It'd probably take about 20 minutes to walk there, 25 minutes to walk there. Of course, you know, if the weather was nice, maybe I would bike there. But yeah, I mean, obviously I was lazy and I just went in the car. So again, it just took a couple of seconds to get there in the car. But I mean, sometimes, you know, you just don't really have time, do you, to be walking or biking somewhere because that all just adds on to the length of time your workout takes you and things like that. And, you know, don't necessarily have time for all of that, do we? Okay, so that's another one. there like that. I haven't been punching the thumb holes in these yet, but of course, you know, I will have thumb holes in these because, you know, I feel that they do need them. For me, I don't necessarily mean for everybody, but definitely for me, because I would definitely tear that paper without the thumb hole, you know, trying to get pieces in and out. Okay. And I just want to quickly mention, I've got an apology to make. I will be loading a video, hopefully at some point this week, maybe even tomorrow, just depends whether I have time to upload it really. It's a video that I did a few weeks/months ago. It's using those lovely Arteza background papers that I have been making recently. I'm making some ephemera from them. And unfortunately, I went to kind of upload the video and somehow I have deleted the entire beginning of the video. So when I say entire beginning, I'm saying, you know, a few of the pieces of ephemera that I made obviously are missing from the video. So it kind of then starts with me saying, oh, I'm back from the sewing machine. And of course you haven't seen what went on previously to the sewing machine. So I'm just apologising in advance. I have done a little intro to explain that for anyone who doesn't see this, so that they realise that, you know, that's not how the video was originally filmed. But yeah, I do apologise. Sometimes these things happen and, you know, who knows? I don't know really how it happened. I obviously deleted it by mistake, you know, and yeah, obviously then just didn't realise. So I'm terribly sorry about that and do apologise. But, you know, the pieces that we do make are quite nice. So I thought, well, I'm sure that you would still enjoy seeing the bits that, you know, I went on to make after the initial bits. And of course you can see the bits I made. You just don't see me actually make them. Yeah, so anyway, I do apologise for that. But yeah, that will be going up maybe tomorrow even, depending on, like I say, how I get on sort of time-wise with uploading things. I mean, sometimes the uploading, it's just really dependent on how quick my internet is. You know, sometimes the internet can be so slow to actually upload things. You know, it would be almost an impossibility to get 2 videos actually uploaded in one day. Not always. Sometimes it's fine. Oops, I've just folded that the wrong way. Sometimes it's fine. But yeah, sometimes it's just very, very slow. So I shall just have to see really whether it gets uploaded, you know, ready for Wednesday's video. Okay. There we go. Okay, right, so that's that piece. So I've got some copy paper here that this, again, is from last week's video. I'm just wondering whether I would actually have enough to double over to make the flaps. Not really. That's a bit of a shame. Yeah, let's just have a look and see. I mean, again, could do it if I was doing them quite small flaps, but then that might be a bit weird. Or, of course, I could mix them up with different papers, but then that might be weird too. Well, I think what I'll do, I'm going to use this paper, which again was just left over from last week. And yeah, this is probably a better bet, isn't it, to just use this. So I'm just going to take this down to the rough size of the envelope, like that. Okay. Let's just cut this piece off here, like that. And then I'm just going to cut down this edge here. Okay. I've been working on a signature for a journal. Very exciting project, and there's a few of us involved. I don't like to really mention it because I'm not sure whether it's you know, it's not my you know, it's not my project to, I guess, talk about, but I was involved in it. So I've just got a couple of videos coming up working on that collaboration, but I know that there's a few of us involved, and I guess it doesn't hurt to mention who's involved. So it's Rachel at Roxy Creations, Joey DeFee, Barbara at 49 Dragonflies, myself, and another lady, and I can't remember her name, so now I feel really terrible. I'm so sorry. I do apologise if she catches this video. I'm so sorry. I completely can't remember your channel name or anything, so I do really apologise. But I think she is in Germany, and the collaboration has been put together by Louise Heinzel, who, again, she's here on YouTube, and, you know, you may or may not have seen her channel. She does beautiful projects and, you know, really very talented artist. So yeah, she has put together a collaboration, and like I said, I've done 2 videos and created something that's, you know, going to be winging its way in the post later today to her. So keep your eye out on all of those channels, because I think those videos are going to all be going up over the next couple of weeks, really. And just super exciting, you know, to be involved in collaborations and working with other lovely people here in our junk journal community. It's just always really, really, really lovely, and yeah, very kind of flattering to be asked, and yeah, it was really great fun. So Louise, if you catch my video, I just want to say thank you so much for that opportunity, and yeah, I had a really lovely time working on my project. Okay, don't know whether this is going to fit in here. I feel like this is too wide. Yeah, okay, right. So I'm just going to cut this down on the angle like that to try and be able to get that into that pocket. Okay. And of course the cinema opened last week, so that was also very exciting. However, obviously there's not really any films kind of at the moment to see. I mean, they have got films on, and actually, to be fair to the cinema, they are all films I had not heard of or seen before. However, none of the films, when I looked, were anything that I would kind of remotely go and see. So, yeah, it was a bit of a shame because, you know, obviously that was very exciting that the cinema was reopen. But, yeah, a bit of a shame that there was nothing I wanted to see. But, I mean, no, that's just personal choice, isn't it, of what types of films you like, really. But hey, you know, it's a step in the right direction. To see just the cinema opening is like, wow, awesome, you know. Right, just need to get one more brad because I'm down to my last one there. In fact, I must go out to the shops and buy some more brads because, yeah, I'm actually running out. Got hardly any left. I try and stock up on things like that, you know. I get my brads from that shop, The Range, the shop that I took you guys shopping to. Yeah, and I always buy just these just gorgeous round antique type ones. For this, I might just use a couple of these brown flowers, actually. You know, again, I've had them in my stash for a long time, and I struggle to use these. Oops, that's not the same. Yeah, I struggle to use them, so actually this is quite a good time to use them because I think it would look quite good. Or perhaps I could use a big one and a small one. I mean, they're different colour browns, but does that matter? Not really, does it? Let's use those. Okay, right. So again, just going to ink my circles up. Like that. Okay. Right. So we will do one here. Okay. Perhaps I will have the smaller one at the bottom. The smaller flower. And again, I mean, I probably wouldn't use regular copy paper as my flaps. This is scrapbook paper from a scrapbook pad, so it's slightly thicker. And the other papers that I have used, which are printables of mine, I have used thicker paper to print it on, sort of like 200 GSM weight paper. So, you know, I wouldn't really probably recommend using copy paper. Again, that's just a personal thing because I'm very likely to tear it. But I mean, if you get on okay and you're much less inclined to tear things than I am, then, you know, you might be fine using copy paper. Right, so let me just get this piece of string off. It's been glued with my hot glue gun. Right. So, in fact, for this one, actually, I'm going to use some brown baker's twine. I think would look good on this one. Just pull it in, and this will probably be the last one that I do, and then we will just decorate a couple up. So, or well, decorate one up. Yeah, I think that looks really pretty with the twine, doesn't it? Okay. I mean, these are such a pretty pocket and such a kind of oh, what's the word? Like, oh, what's that word that I'm looking for? Well, anyway, sophisticated looking type pocket. I don't really think they need much decoration at all, to be honest. You know, I think they kind of speak for themselves and stand out, you know, on their own, really. There we go. Looks great with that brown twine, doesn't it? Really, really, really pretty. So, yeah, I mean, obviously you can mix them up and put different coloured twines and things like that. You could use, you know, decoupage napkin as your flaps or anything you like, really. So, yeah, let's pull them back in and see the ones that we did. And also, actually, I just realised I don't think I mentioned any other papers that I used. So this is my some of my collage paper. Oh, and I can't now remember the name of it, but it's in my shop. This is Pink Parisian. Oh, again, I've got just a complete blank there as to what that's called, so I do really apologise. And this is my Victorian Florals set 3. So that's what those papers are. And this one is from a scrap pad that I've had in my stash for a really long time. So let's decorate, you know, one of these up. So which one should we go for? Oh, I might go for this one, actually. Right, let's just ink this up a little bit. And I do apologise, I've not really put anything in my shop for quite a long time at the moment. I've obviously been talking lately about what's going on at home, and yeah, I've been just really, really busy. I have still been working on some new digis and things like that, and I'm hoping to put them in. I'm going to hopefully put them in this week, but I have to just, you know, put a kind of word of caution there. They may not go in this week because it takes actually quite a long time to, you know, make the thumbnail and, you know, convert them into JPEGs and, you know, upload them and write a description and all of those kinds of things actually is quite time consuming. So all being well, I will put them in my shop this week. It could end up that it's not until next week. So keep your eyes out. I will be having some new things going in. I've been working on a couple more of my builder pockets, you know, my perfect pocket sets. So yeah, there'll be another couple of those. I've got another faux stamped selection. I've got some background papers and what else? I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and another sort of complete kit in one of my smaller kits. So it's got like the background papers as one item and the you know, the ephemera pieces as another item. So yeah, lots of different things to be going into my shop. Like I say, I won't absolutely promise because you know, as I say, it is quite time consuming, to be honest, to put them in my shop. So, and I've got all of that to do, and obviously there are quite a few things there. But yeah, just keep your eye out and hopefully they will be in either this week or next week. But yeah, being realistic, it could well be next week, to be honest. But I do apologise because, I mean, I really like putting things in there very regularly because I don't want you guys to feel bored with, you know, if you go to my shop, I want it to be fun and filled with lovely new things. So yeah, I do apologise that it's obviously taken me a little while to, you know, get some new things putting in there. But like I say, it's just really lack of time. It's definitely not lack of you know, lack of wanting to or anything like that. So, okay. Love that window on there. Looks very cute, doesn't it? Just wondering if we could have a bit of lace coming out from the window. That's not the right lace, is it? Doesn't look right at all. I ordered these flowers the other day. I think I might have shown you this on a different video, but they arrived. I got these from eBay, and yeah, I mean, they're really quite super cute, aren't they? So I could, let's just see how that would look if I inked that up. Just kind of have maybe a couple of flowers on there. It's quite pretty, doesn't it? And oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's like overload of flowers then. So yeah, perhaps we'll just restrain ourselves and stick with one. And what about some Martha Stewart butterflies? So again, this is that Martha Stewart butterfly punch, which I'm pretty sure is like discontinued now. I know I've shown this punch lots of times, but it's this punch here. I'm going to show you it again, just because, you know, although it's been discontinued, you might be able to get this still on eBay or something. It's my second one that I've had. My first one did actually break. I can't remember what happened. I think it snapped. Literally, the handle snapped off. But I love this punch so much. So you get obviously the bigger butterfly and two small ones. When I say bigger, it's teeny. So I mean, those tiny butterflies are really, really, really teeny. But yeah, I do really like it. And I do use these butterflies quite a fair amount, to be honest. So it's definitely a punch that I, you know, would recommend. I really do like it. Okay. And so just sometimes, you know, I just punch some of these Martha Stewart butterflies out of just leftover papers. You know, if I've got a tiny leftover piece of scrap, you know, I might just punch some out with the tiny leftover scrap. And I know that Laura, you know, who is my friend here on YouTube, she doesn't have a channel, but I'm sure lots of you have heard me talk about Laura in the past. I know that she often punches out Martha Stewart butterflies and just kind of keeps them to hand. They're just one of those handy things, you know, helpful things to have at the ready, really. So, yeah. Right. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to pop this window down. Okie dokie. And this is one of my windows from my kit that's in my shop, which I think is called Shabby Shutters. Yeah, I'm sure it's called that. So these windows are available in my shop, and that's a massive download. It's like 7 pages. You know, a massive file. Not file, I'm not meaning like as in download time or anything like that, but it's a massive file as in it's 7 pages, so you get a lot to play with in that file. All different size windows, and yeah, different sizes and lots of different colours. And they're just 2 different styles actually, but yeah, lots to play with. So, and they're quite a fun thing to just you know, incorporate. Right, let's just pop those butterflies down. So I have that one there, and this one. Okay. Oops. Oh. Yeah, and then we'll have that there, I think. And then I'm thinking down here we could have something else. I'm not sure what, but we could maybe, not really the right colour, is it? I have got some pink labels, but of course I haven't got any printed off. So that's just typical, isn't it? And we could have something like a dictionary definition on there. I know it is black, which is kind of out there really, considering that this is pink, but I think it looks quite nice actually. You know, as a bit of contrast, doesn't it? You don't always have to have things kind of completely the same, do you? So yeah, quite like that. I'm just having a rummage through to see if I've got anything else, you know, sat right here right now that I could just pull in. Yeah, weirdly, I think I quite like the contrast of the black rather than a label. And we'll just ink it up and just check before I definitely make up my mind. I mean, I feel like it's a bit of a brave choice, the black. It's definitely, yeah, definitely a brave choice. Or maybe a ridiculous choice. Oops. What do we think? Brave or ridiculous? Got a little flower there. Just kind of gets a bit lost really in there, but again, it was just floating around on my desk, so I just thought, oh, perhaps I'll try that. Oh, sorry if you can hear that. That's the rain. It's chucking it down now. So, yeah, thank goodness I'm in and I'm not going back to the school for hours yet today, because that would be very annoying. Oh, what do we think? Do we go for the black or do we go for the label? I mean, the label is definitely safer, isn't it? I should probably just go for the label, to be honest. Just because I think when I come to use this in a journal, I'll be sorry if I've gone for that, you know, that dictionary definition. I will then be sorry because, of course, I will then struggle then to actually manage to use it. You know, it will feel so out there. I'll be, yeah, not wanting to actually use it anywhere. Right, I'm just going to stick this flower down like that. And then this one, I think we did the pocket inside in the matching paper. So again, we can just open this out. Haven't punched the thumb hole yet, but maybe I could put the dictionary definition on the inside. Again, I mean, I'm just literally pulling things that I've got to hand that are laying around on the desk. You know, because that's just a lazy option. I've got here notes. Oh, that's quite nice, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do that, I think. So, have already punched that through to put brads in there. I'm thinking I might just go without the brads because perhaps that would be just a brad too many. Because obviously we've already got the brads on here, so yeah, probably brad overkill to have them on here as well. Okay. And these are obviously just my little vintage book plates download, so that's what this one is. Okay, and we will just punch the circle here for the thumb hole. Oops. Come on, come on. Okay. Oops. Like that. Okie dokie. So yeah, we have obviously the pocket here, pockets here, and then the, you know, closure here. Oops. And like I say, I mean, it's a little bit fiddly at the moment because it's not stuck down. Once it's glued onto the page, this will no longer be moving. So, you know, that's going to straight away obviously be, you know, a lot easier, to be honest, to operate. But it's super cute, isn't it? Super cute. Right, let's pull in a journal and just see how this would actually look on a journal page. So hold on. Again, just pulling in that same old journal that I keep pulling in every week. I still haven't finished it, would you believe? It's taking me a long time to actually finish. But like I said, I've been kind of working on some other projects like in between. So that's how this would look. Obviously, this would be, oops, wrapped around like that. Oh my goodness. Ah, well, in theory it would be wrapped around. Very fiddly today for some reason. And again, I would just glue it down on 3 sides. So you'd have like your tuck pocket there in the side. And then obviously you'd open your envelope closure. You'd have your pocket here at the top. And then you'd have your pocket there in the middle. So I hope that you like them. I mean, I absolutely love them. Like I say, I'm not in any way trying to claim them as mine. I'm sure that they've probably been made before. I just honestly hadn't really seen them. But, you know, that's just, you know, I could have maybe just not seen them. But I have, of course, seen, you know, similar things. So, yeah, I hope that you like them. And thank you so much for watching. Have good fun making some. Thanks then. Bye.